The FGC loves tier lists. There's no mistaking it. And recently, thanks to official performance data provided by Capcom, we now know which characters have won the most in Street Fighter V among the best players in the world. This tier list ranks the win rates of every single character being played by players ranked Grandmaster to Warlord, the top 1% of players in the Street Fighter V community. These win rates are measured on a scale of 0 to 10, with some of the best characters having a win rate above 5.3, and some of the worst characters hovering around 3.5. So that's it, mystery solved. We now know what characters are dominating Street Fighter V, and we now have a consistent way of determining how strong a given character is. Well, not exactly. While this is a valuable resource, I believe this data lacks critical information that must be considered when discussing character strength. To understand what's missing, we have to start with the why. Why do we make tier lists? Tier lists are designed to answer one question. If every character were to be played at the same skill level, who is most likely to win? When you reach a certain skill level, tier lists allow you to assess a game's meta and gauge what characters that you're most likely to fight in a competitive setting. They're also the FGC's go-to source of content when nothing else is going on. Tier lists with high credibility have a few key qualities. They're created by top players who have a high-level understanding of the game's various mechanics and character interactions. They're results-oriented, meaning that they're based on how characters perform in the context of a competitive environment. And they factor in how characters fare against each other. On the surface, all these boxes are checked off. The data compiles the results of the best Street Fighter V players. The matches analyzed are from the most difficult ranked matchmaking section to compete in. And this list is sorted by the objective win rates of every possible character matchup in the game. So what gives? What else is there to look at? Let's jump back to the competitive format chosen for this list, Ranked. As a number of you know, the online experience of Street Fighter V is less than stellar. The online matchmaking experience of Street Fighter V is too volatile and too inflexible to give an accurate assessment of a given character's strength. Ignoring the netcode quality, which is the FGC's favorite dead horse, ranked matches do not allow for a player's technical skill and mental prowess to be tested at every opportunity. SFI'd ranked matches are at maximum a first of two set. You win 2 games, you win the set. The problem is, after the first game, either player can decide to not rematch their opponent and run off with the win and the points. This robs both players of the opportunity to take the knowledge that they acquired in the first game about their opponent's strategies and then adapt to overcome those hurdles in the next game. In some cases, you may never even get to the end of the first game. When a player rage quits in Street Fighter V, the game's stat system doesn't count that as a loss for the offender.
Yep.
In fact, according to the game, that match never happened. This notably skews the data provided in charts such as this because critical wins for certain characters are not factored into their standing amongst the rest of the roster. This is why tournament results often form the foundation of tier lists. Players don't have to worry about the complexities of an online connection, and they are forced to run the full set. As my near final remark, we must address the character distribution. There's a math theory known as the law of large numbers, which dictates that if you perform the same sequence, such as playing a specific matchup, a large number of times, the results will average out towards the middle over time. If you look closely at the characters at the top of this list, their win rates as dictated by the chart are relatively above average. However, the top 3 characters that are on this list are amongst the 7 least played characters across Street Fighter V's entire player base in August 2021. Now look at the center of this list. The characters hovering around the 5.0 mark are around some of the most played characters in Street Fighter V's roster during the same period of time. Because more matches have been played amongst the more popular characters, their results roughly average out to their appropriate standing amongst the rest of the roster. For the lesser played characters on this list, there's just not enough match data to effectively rank them. The notable caveats here is that unlike the character win rate data, the character distribution data is not filtered to just Grandmaster to Warlord players and includes the entire Street Fighter V player base. if we can get this data filtered, I would really like to see that. Actually pretty curious. But I do believe that we have enough data to form a reasonable estimate. So, should we form tier lists purely from ranked match data? No. While I do value the insight that Capcom's data gives us about the meta of Street Fighter V, ranked matches by themselves do not provide us with sufficient information to form meaningful tier lists. Having objective data is always a meaningful starting point, but tier lists will always need to be supplemented by the contextual knowledge and opinions of top players to be useful. Leave a like on this commentary if you enjoyed what I had to say about this tier list. If you want more content on competitive fighting games, be sure to check out the recommended videos on screen, and be sure to subscribe for more fighting game videos like this. I have been ShaolinPretzels, and as always, stay salty.